Is Northern Virginia as safe as they say? Let's dive in and find out. We're cutting through the noise and honing in on property crime and violent crime stats that spell out Northern Virginia's safety score. You'll also learn how Northern Virginia ranks amongst the entire state and nationally. Keep it locked right here because by the end of this video, I'll give you the inside scoop about what it's actually like living here versus what you may have heard coming up next. First, let's discuss the entire state and compare it to Northern Virginia. In 2023, U.S. News & World Reporting ranked Virginia 8th for public safety, but the story of crime in Virginia is a table of contrasts and challenges. Last year, our state witnessed subtle but important movements in crime trends. Property crimes inched up by 1.5%, a change that, while modest, represents a reversal of the declining trend that we had been seeing. But in the arena of violent crime, we have good news, a decrease of 2.3% from the previous year. It's a ray of hope that our strategies to combat violence are gaining traction. Breaking down the violent crime category, we find that 20% consisted of aggravated assaults. Robberies, which command an alarming presence in media reports, constituted 5%. Sexual offenses encompassing crimes from harassment to assault represented 3% of the violent crimes. Homicides, though smallest in number at 1.2%, carry the most weight, each a tragedy with ripples felt throughout our society. On the other side, property crimes present a varied picture. Burglary cases, those unlawful entries to commit theft or felonies, accounted for 15%. Larceny, the most common offense, took a lion's share at 60%, overshadowing motor vehicle theft, which stood at 20%. Rounding out violent crimes is arson, representing the smallest slice of the pie at 5%. Zooming in on Northern Virginia, which is known for its tech boom and dense suburbs, the crime statistics tell a distinct story. Violent crimes took a 4% dive and property crimes nudged only 0.5%. The sub-region, often under the microscope due to its proximity to D.C., seems to be making strides in public safety. Fairfax County, the most populous and bustling hub in Northern Virginia, despite its numbers, boasts a crime rate lower than the state average when adjusted for population. It's an example of how demographic density and effective policing can coexist. Arlington and Loudoun, though not without their challenges, also observed downturns in both violent and property crime categories. The why behind these fluctuations is more complex than just one single answer. Enhanced law enforcement tactics, economic prosperity, and educational outreach in Northern Virginia are all credited with contributing to these promising trends. Moreover, the COVID-19 pandemic's legacy has altered crime patterns in a way that we're still deciphering. How does Virginia stand when cast against the broader canvas of the United States? The FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Program provides a benchmark. Virginia's violent crime rate per 1,000 people at 2.3 sits comfortably below the national average of 4.0, signaling that Virginia, by and large, is a relatively safe state. Property crime is also below the national average with 4.5 fewer incidences per 1,000 people. Burglaries are also less common in Virginia than the national average, accounting for 8% versus 14%. Northern Virginia, mirroring the affluence and density of the D.C. metropolitan area, typically features even lower crime rates than the rest of the state, with particular success in curbing violent offenses. I should point out that of the top 20 safest cities in the state, 8 are located right here in Northern Virginia. However, it's not all rosy. The region's cybercrime incidents have surged, an echo of the national upswing in digital offenses as reported by the Internet Crime Complaint Center and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Speaking as someone who has lived in Northern Virginia their entire life, I can confidently say that our region is extremely safe. That's one of the things that I and countless others love about living here. Last week, I posted a video about the top reasons people move out of Northern Virginia, and spoiler alert, crime wasn't on the list, and for good reason. In general, people here don't have to deal with violent crime, robbery, carjacking, and other issues found in other major cities. If anything, we're more worried about getting a ticket for speeding or other moving violations because of the large police presence. Not once can I recall a riot ever taking place or instances where mobs of people loot stores, which has become more common elsewhere. In my opinion, the most obvious contributing factor to this has to do with socioeconomics. Northern Virginia has one of the highest costs of living in the country, which has led to a dense population of high-income earners and college-educated individuals, two demographic groups not typically associated with criminal activity. In sharp contrast, the other most populous region in Virginia, the Tidewater region, otherwise known as Hampton Roads, has the highest crime rates in the state. Cities like Suffolk, Portsmouth, Newport News, Hampton, and Norfolk have major crime issues. This region is vastly different from Northern Virginia, and it all ties back to socioeconomics. The truth is that crime could occur anytime and anywhere. It doesn't matter if you live in the #1 ranked safest city in the world, safety is not guaranteed. Similar to many other metro areas around the country, Northern Virginia has a mix of good and bad neighborhoods, although mostly good. As the data highlighted, Northern Virginia is ranked below the Virginia state average as well as the national average in both property crime and violent crime, two categories that pertain closest to today's discussion of safety. Peering into the crystal ball of crime prevention, Virginia is poised on the cutting edge. The Commonwealth is pouring resources into predictive policing technology that can forecast potential crime hotspots. This, combined with grassroots initiatives, especially those directed at young people, is designed to forge a proactive rather than reactive approach to public safety. These investments aim to create not just a drop in crime figures, but to cultivate environments of inherent safety and a sense of security that is a bedrock for thriving communities. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I hope you gained a better grasp on the safety aspect of Northern Virginia living. If you want to hear more about something that was discussed today or something that I didn't cover, drop me a comment below or contact me directly. See you next time.